That's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Clerk. Returning to floor discussion, Senator Hunt, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's a lot of chit-chat, and there's a lot of laughter and a lot of loud conversations happening in this chamber. Not right now, but there have been. And I'm grateful for the announcements that came across the desk that actually refocused us, instead of this conversation about the death penalty, about state-sanctioned murder, as I see it, which should bring a very somber tone into this chamber, and not the chit-chat and laughing that I'm hearing, that I'm ashamed of. Nebraska law doesn't guarantee right now that witnesses can view a prisoner during an execution process. We don't guarantee that witnesses can hear what's happening in the execution chamber. We don't guarantee that witnesses can know what drug was administered or how the executed prisoner died. By preventing witnesses from observing and listening to the entire execution process, we're limiting meaningful discussion and oversight that we have responsibility for in this very, very serious carrying out of executions in Nebraska. For Carrie Dean Moore, we don't know what happened behind that curtain. It was closed for a long time. And if any of you are so sure that this is the right thing to do, then you should agree that you would witness it. I think that people who support the death penalty and Governor Ricketts are cowards. I think it's very cowardly, and I think that the governor should have watched the execution of Carrie Dean Moore if he's so sure that it's the right thing to do. Ultimately, this policy of secrecy has prevented the public from engaging in discussion about the morality of the death penalty and engaging in knowledge about the extremes to which our government is willing to go to carry out the most severe and irreversible punishments. If one person from the legislature doesn't want to go witness an execution, as Senator Pansing Brooks' bill calls for, then we should not have executions in Nebraska. Us here are responsible for the death penalty in Nebraska. We've had opportunities year after year to get rid of it. And if it's possible that none of us here have the courage to go witness this law that we say must be carried out, then that's not something that we should have in Nebraska. I'm somebody who would be willing to witness an execution in Nebraska because I feel like we have a responsibility to be accountable for what this state is doing to people. I wonder if anyone in this room who supports the death penalty would be willing to carry it out themselves. Why should somebody with a mask be injecting somebody with an illegal drug? In the case of Nebraska, when Governor Ricketts spent $56,000 of taxpayer money on illegal death penalty drugs that were never even delivered, probably lost in a post office somewhere, we don't know. All of you in here, your Bible says that you shall not kill. It does not say you shall not kill innocent life. It's just something that you tell yourselves to make yourselves feel better about your hypocrisy. So that's how I feel. When I watched Governor Ricketts stand in front of that giant Choose Life license plate and talk about how we're a pro-life state while putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into his own money into the campaign to bring back the death penalty after this body overturned it, it was grotesque and honestly embarrassing to see. So I rise in support of this bill. I commend Senator Pansing Brooks for having a cool head about an issue that is very, very emotional and very important in Nebraska. And I commend her for being willing to work with opponents and compromise on the number of people in the legislature who have to witness this or whatever. If it was my bill, I'd say we'd all have to witness it, and so would the governor. And then we wouldn't have a death penalty anymore because none of you would be able to handle it. Thank you.